Quick about me. I was born and raised in Redford, went to Redford schools. I started grass fence lawn service when I was 13 years old, and I've been doing that for about 10 years now. I've amassed a large client base in Redford, and the township itself is my largest client. I got married in the fall of 2008 to a wonderful lady who makes great pudding, and I moved all of a quarter mile from my parents. So I'm still in Redford. I seem to be stuck there, but I love it. It's a great place to be. So in 2010, I decided to leverage all my knowledge of Redford. I learned all the neighborhoods very well. You know, driving up and down the streets with my lawn truck, and so I decided I'd start investing in Redford. And I did 4 deals in 2010, and I'm on pace to do about 16 this year. So today we're going to be talking about my property on Riverdale Street in Redford. This is about Plymouth and Telegraph area by the Detroit Easel. So how I found the deal? Well, I was specifically looking for this deal. Kind of what Todd covered in his. The first step is knowing exactly what you're looking for. So I was after a 3-bedroom, one bath, 1.5 or 2 baths is a huge amount of value to me as a landlord. I seem to be able to get more rent if I can get extra bathrooms. 1,000 square foot or more with a garage and a basement. People need places to put their junk. They're the I call them the anchor of the property. They keep people there. And then I'm looking in Redford, obviously, because I know the area. I love it. It's a great stock, well built. Brick fortresses is what I call them. They were built in the 50s, and they're just solid houses. There's an excellent rental market, solid school system, and the township is just pretty well run. They've got a responsive police and good public services. It's close to Detroit, but it's not Detroit, and the taxes are reasonable. Mine are usually about $2,400 for the year. And then my criteria, I like to be all in on property for $40,000 or less. So, how I found the deal was on the MLS. And you can see, based off the criteria I discussed, this one was just a little under 1,200 square feet. It's in South Redford. It was listed at $39,900, 3-bedroom, 1.5 baths. Private owned, and you can see it was not a short sale. It has a garage and a basement. And then, I don't know if we can read this, but it's basically saying the seller is highly motivated. Bring all reasonable offers. So when I saw this pop up, it was exactly what I was looking for in South Redford, where I was looking. And I love to hop on these private owned sales because you don't have to deal with the bank. And usually, these owners are more willing to deal. The banks are a little more robotic, and private owners will act more based on hope and get a good sale. We're going to skip that. All right, so I've already predetermined that I am willing to do a deal up to $40,000 because that's a good deal in Redford. And I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So my all-in price, you can't see it, $40,000. And then I always estimate my closing cost of $2,000. So I'm really looking just to subtract repairs from that number to get my offer on the property. So I went through this property and I just had some quick notes on a sheet of paper. I came up with estimated $6,000 in repairs. So I plugged that in, and my offer was $32,000. So I went in at $30,000, and not even one counter offer. I usually go and tell them, listen, this is my best foot forward. I'm not kidding around. I will buy this house for $32,000, and they went for it. So So let's see what $32,000 got me. This is the front of the house. Big 3-car garage. Nice little back area. Really nice kitchen. All updated. I did not do any of this work. Cosmetically, pretty much how you see it is how it was. Kitchen. It's a bedroom. No, that's the bathroom. I just put a new countertop. Bedroom. Hallway. Nice flooring. Half bath in the basement. Functional. Basement. 2005 furnace. 2010 hot water heater. See brand new PEX plumbing. You got the newer electrical in the background. This was just an awesome property. Everything's pretty much done for me as far as the mechanicals are concerned. How did I fund the deal? Private money, just a regular fella who was not happy with the performance of his stocks and other investments. I borrowed $40,000. He is getting 10%. We're doing a 30-year amortization with a 5-year balloon. I had him come along with me in the property inspection, so if he was like, Jesse, this property sucks, I still had him out. I could just use my inspection dollars. So he wired over the $40,000 to the title company, and I closed on the property, and I walked away with the difference for the repairs. So the investor security was I signed an open mortgage at closing. The title company recorded the mortgage, and I also provided a lender's policy. So my exit strategy, the whole, I love this house and I want to keep it. I would love to refinance it in 5 years or less to increase cash. So how much money have I made? So we've got, this was a few months ago, so far income, rental income brought in this much, a nice little August late fee there. Money out, a little bit advertising, insurance, these are my mortgage payments and amounts escrowed for taxes. So far, just under $500. That's not very sexy, is it? But my rehab took a little bit longer than expected. We always do. And then when we got the tenant in, they signed what we're going to move in 15 days after. So there was a period of time where I was paying on this interest that I wasn't making any money. So I put together kind of like a projection for the next 12 months. This will be my total income, total expenses, with 10% projected for maintenance. I'll be about $2,500. 12 months will be profit. So you might ask, what about ROI? Well, I've got no money into it, so $2,500 is just $2,500 in my pocket. If I can refinance to a 30-year fixed, 5% through a bank, that would be a very nice thing to do because it would increase my annual cash flow so a little over $1,600 for the year. And if I decided somewhere down the line I want to pay off the mortgage, the house would generate approximately $7,000 per year net cash flow. That's all I got for you. Any questions?
Questions?
How do you monthly income? How much do you get your investment?
How much goes to the investor each month?
10%, right?
Right. Yeah. There's in my numbers. There was the mortgage payments on this house. It is about $351 a month goes to him, and that's obviously mostly interest, but some of it is paying down the principal.
You set that up so like a private little bank account where your mom or
I write him a physical check each month.
How'd you find your private lender?
I actually wholesaled him a house back at the beginning of the year.
It's beautiful, by the way.
And yeah, I'll elaborate on that a little bit because it is a good story. So I wholesaled him a house why don't you just snatch it up for yourself? I was like, well, I don't have any money lined up at this point, but I'm always out there looking because I want to know the market. And so he said, well, if money's an issue, money shouldn't be an issue. And then we sat down and had lunch and talked, and he's going to do he's doing about maybe 12 deals with me this year.
Good lunch.
Lunch paid for itself.
Don't be embarrassed. More questions? All right, opportunity lost. Sorry, Chris.
I saw your late fee, $110.
Yeah, pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really nice. And you
Well, while I'm up here, I got to give some credit to Mike Dundon. Him and I worked together. He squeezed the $110 late fee out of him, so maybe
Just
$10
$10 a day. Really.
He's the muscle.
I was actually up north. It's over the phone. My brother's an attorney though, so I pull that out once in a while.
Yeah, use the attorney card.
Actually, I haven't had it today. I know people who have.
Yes.
Is 40,000 a good top end for Redford renters? It seems a little high in the market.
For South Redford, that's actually pretty good. To be all in, rehab, closing costs, everything. You're doing pretty good at 40 in South Redford with a nice house. Now,
The thing with both these single-family investments that I noticed, there was really no projection for turnover in your numbers. Like if you turn over a property, especially a single-family property, say in a year or 18 months, that turnover cost can easily run you a couple of grand or so to do that. That was not rolled into your performance.
right, no, that was not rolled in. I had a 12-month projection. I have a year lease.
Right.
Right.
But I was just talking about realistically, those properties are going to turn over.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, there's some cost to turn over property.
Well, so I'm going to jump up for Jesse there. He had 10% maintenance, and he shouldn't have any because he just completely rehabbed the whole house. So he's throwing 10% aside too, is just in case. And whether you use that to repair the property or tenant's an asshole on the way out and pees on the carpet and he's got to replace the carpet, he's got that money set aside. I do that on all mine too, whether it's brand new or not. You just take 10% of whatever comes in and set it aside.
Right.
You're going to need it someday, whether it's for vacancy or anything else.
That's what I want to make is that when you use projection, realistically, you got to look at a reserve because you can pay me now, pay me later. It's going to come up.
Right, so I had the 10% for maintenance, and then I would usually put a vacancy factor in there.
Right.
But the property is full, it's going to be full, and there was actually a month and a half in that year that no one's in there paying me rent because I was rehabbing it, and it took them 15 days because they were coming out of another housing situation for them to get in there. So that was worked in the numbers as well.
The great thing about the strategy that Jesse's doing, and some of other people are doing in this area as well, you're finding a niche like this, the tenants are only going to move if they have a life event or if you screw up. And we're not going to screw up. So, I know that, not having vacancy in there for a year or 2 years is totally accurate because I know people that haven't had vacancies in 4 or 5 years in their houses because they buy in good areas, they buy good houses, they screen really, really hard for tenants, and they treat them well when they're in. Give them guidelines and stuff like that. So that makes a lot of sense keeping a reserve. But you guys had how many now? How many houses do you have? Rental. Couple,
I
three?
just put 3 in the market today.
Okay. But I mean, what I'm saying is that, so once you have your $3,000 to $5,000 reserve, that covers all your rental houses. Because you're not going to have generally 3 furnaces going at any one time. So that's kind of the strategy as well. So when you get economy of scale like these guys have, then your one reserve covers all your houses. And that's what you guys are doing, right?
Yeah.
No, I was just bringing it up because for a new investor, one of the biggest mistakes you make is when you look at a performance of the cash once this is without net, you really have to be realistic on that because one good turnover, one good vacancy can absorb that total net for the don't want.
Yeah, but it's controllable though. The cost of that is controllable. You're screening on when they're coming in. You're buying really good houses. And there's ways to do that. And you make sure that only one person in 10 can qualify for your property. So you're minimizing your risk. And then if you're on it, ahead of time when to move, and you get on it and minimize the cost. Then it's all you know, it's not a question mark. It's a known unknown. It's like, yes, I'm gonna have a vacancy. Yes, it's probably gonna cost me $1,000 if I've got to paint. Yep, I know that. But I know if you know, you guys are making a couple grand a year, you know, you have vacancy every couple of years, every couple, 3 years, that's totally baked in.
I got two good questions. What did you take for a security deposit?
Month and a half, always.
Oh yeah, that's the chunk. So you know what? A couple months non-payment, or they trash the house on the way out, they get that back. Shit, I forgot my other really good question. Go to somebody else. Damn it, it was really good.
How do you get your tenant?
How much is your ad fee?
I think I heard, how did we get the tenant? Mike with the vacancy, we can talk to him. Application fee, $40. Yeah, it basically covers the, I think the, cost to run the,
I gotta plug Dennis. Everything we do is from a seminar he fell. He's teaching it's called single family rentals. It's got online too, don't you?
Cashflowmercenary.com.
Literally everything
Oh, yeah.
we do.
yeah,
except for
it is
except for
true.
finding
You might as
tenants.
well give Dennis credit while.
95% of what we do is
You know, genius is defined as not going out and doing it yourself. Find somebody who did it before and copy exactly what they did. Yeah, that's my definition of genius. So, all right, we're gonna have to do more questions on this one. We gotta move to the next one. Let's give Jesse a round of applause.